From small town dreams to million-dollar pitches, from kitchen table ideas to boardroom empires, from solving hunger to solving health. These are not just business, they are stories of courage, hustle, and pure Indian innovation. Welcome to the world of Shark Tank India, where dreams are tested, deals are made, destinies are rewritten, and ordinary people become extraordinary entrepreneurs. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are someone who loves stories of ambition, innovation, and real life success, you are in the right place. Today, we are diving into the most iconic business that came out of Shark Tank India. Ideas that changed lives, inspired millions, and proved that dreams, when fueled with passion, can create empires. So, without wasting time, let's start the video. But before that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. In today's world, business isn't just a word, it's a mindset. Every family has that one person dreaming of a startup, every college group has that one idea guy, and every street vendor now knows the power of branding. India is no longer just a market, it's a movement of creators and innovators. And Shark Tank India became the platform where those dreams finally found wings. When Shark Tank India first aired, it did something no business show had ever done before. It brought entrepreneurship into every living room of the country. For the first time, people saw real founders, not celebrities, standing in front of investors, pitching their dreams while trembling hands but confident hearts. It wasn't just entertainment, it was education with emotion. The show taught millions how to think like an entrepreneur, how to pitch with clarity, how to calculate valuations, how to handle rejection, and most importantly, how to believe in your own idea even when the world doesn't. From students who began sketching startup ideas in classroom to homemakers who started selling their crafts online, Shark Tank India created a cultural shift. It made business a dining table topic. It made risk a respectable word. And it reminded an entire generation that you don't need to be born rich, you just need to start. Now let's take a look at some of the most inspiring, profitable and impactful businesses that not only own the sharks' attentions but also conquered the market beyond the tank. The first is Blue Pine Foods, the handmade momos from the hills. Aditi Madan is the founder, who is also lovingly known as Momo Mami. Aditi Madan's story is one of courage, culture, and pure grit. Born and raised in the serene hills of Darjeeling, Aditi grew up surrounded by the aroma of freshly steamed momos. For her, momos weren't just food, they were memories of home, love, and togetherness. After moving to Delhi, she realized something important. People loved momo, but what they were eating in cities wasn't authentic. It was oily, unhygienic, and mass produced. The soul of the Himalayan momo was missing. And that's how the Blue Pine Foods was born. Aditi started small, really small. She began making momo in her kitchen with recipes passed down from her grandmother, using only fresh vegetables, no preservations, and natural Himalayan spices. She started supplying them to local cafes and households in Delhi NCR. But scaling handmade food was tough. She faced rejections from big hotels, couldn't afford large cold storage systems, and even had days when she made deliveries herself. Still, she didn't give up. In 2016, she founded Blue Pine Foods Public Limited, naming it after the evergreen blue pine trees found in the Himalayan region, a symbol of purity and nature. The goal was clear: create a brand that brings authentic Himalayan flavors to India in the form of frozen, preservative free momo and snacks. The turning point was Shark Tank India. When Aditi stepped onto the Shark Tank India stage, she wasn't just pitching a product, she was pitching a dream. Her passion, her calm confidence, and her belief in quality immediately won over the sharks. She shared her journey from Darjeeling to Delhi, her years of struggle, and her mission to employ local women and homemakers in her production units. Her story wasn't about fast money, it was about sustainable, ethical growth. The sharks were deeply impressed. Aman, Vinita, and Ashni offered her a deal of 75 lakhs for 16% equity, helping her expand production, improve cold chain logistics, and take her products to more cities. Blue Pine Foods operates on a B2B plus retail model. In B2B model, she supplies frozen momo, spring rolls and snacks to hotels, restaurants and cafes. In retail, she sells under the brand Yum Momo through supermarkets, food apps and online platforms. The key, everything remains handmade, preservative free and prepared under strict hygiene standards. They also have a strong social focus, employing local women from the hills and empowering small communities through steady jobs. Post Shark Tank, Blue Pine Foods saw massive demand across cities. Their production units expanded and they began supplying to large food chains, corporate cafeterias, and even exporting to international markets. The brand soon became synonymous with authentic, hygienic Himalayan style momo. They also diversified, introducing new variants like spinach cheese, paneer, chicken, and even fusion momo for global markets. They are recognized by FICCI and Startup India for innovation in food processing. They even expanded distribution to multiple Indian cities and export hubs. They inspired a wave of women entrepreneurs who now see Aditi as a role model. Today, Blue Pine Foods stands as one of India's most successful frozen food startups, exporting to other countries and becoming a global ambassador of Indian Himalayan cuisine. Aditi's journey from Momo Mami to CEO of Blue Pine Foods is proof that even something as humble as a momo can build an empire when done with authenticity, quality, and purpose. You don't need a fancy idea to succeed, you just need the right intent. Aditi Madan showed India that passion for food, discipline in business, and respect for your roots can turn the simple recipe into a multi-million rupee brand. Matri, that empowers women's health. Ronnie Mondal and Rohan Roy are the founders of this brand. The beginning was simple, two men who chose empathy over ignorance. In a world where menstruation is still treated as a taboo topic, even inside families, two young men decided to challenge that silence head on. Ronnie Mondal and Rohan Roy, both from West Bengal, saw something that deeply disturbed them. Women around them, mothers, sisters, friends, silently suffered through period pain, infections, and embarrassment because of one simple reason: lack of awareness and access. Most rural women were still using cloth, paper, or unsafe materials during their cycles. And even though we live in the age of innovation, millions of women in India continue to experience pain that could be reduced or prevented with proper care. That's when Ronnie and Rohan decided to do something unthinkable. They started Matri, a social impact brand dedicated to menstrual and maternal healthcare. Their goal was never just to sell products, it was to normalize conversations about menstruation and to make women's comfort and dignity a matter of priority, not shame. The founders began by researching period pain, hygiene gaps, and rural accessibility. They discovered how lack of affordable sanitary products led not only to infections but also to women missing work and school days every month. So they created Matri, an organization focused on producing low-cost, high-quality sanitary pads, menstrual kits, and maternal care packages, designed specifically for women in rural and semi-urban India. But they didn't stop there. They also developed awareness and educational programs teaching women and young girls how to manage menstrual health safety, breaking myths that have existed for generations. Matri runs on a hybrid social business model, balancing impact with sustainability. They collaborate with NGOs, schools, CSR initiatives, and government health programs to distribute their products at scale. Through local women volunteers and health camps, Matri delivers kits directly to underserved areas at minimal or no cost. Rural women are trained and employed in the distribution network, creating micro entrepreneurs who earn while helping other women. So every product Matri sells or donates touches lives in more ways than one. When Ronnie and Rohan stepped onto the Shark Tank India stage, the entire panel was struck by their empathy and courage. They explained how period pain poor hygiene and lack of awareness can destroy confidence, limit education, and even risk women's lives. Their vision was clear: to make menstrual care accessible, affordable, and acceptable across all parts of India. They received an investment of 60 lakh for 4% equity from Namrata and Aman. All the sharks applauded their courage, clarity, and social mission, even offering mentorship, media visibility, and contact to help them expand their impact. After the show, Matri's message resonated deeply with audiences nationwide. Social media platforms lit up with support not just from women but also from men who admired their boldness and compassion. They expanded their partnerships with NGOs, health organizations, and colleges to run awareness campaigns and menstrual health workshops. Their product line grew to include low-cost sanitary pads, reusable pads for sustainable hygiene, Matri care kits for new mothers, pain relief products designed to ease cramps and discomfort naturally. Through their combined efforts, Matri has now reached thousands of women across village and town, giving them access to hygiene, confidence, and knowledge. Matri is more than a company. By having two men leading a women's health movement, Ronnie and Rohan proved that compassion knows no gender. They showed that when men understand and support women's biological needs, society as a whole became healthier and stronger. Their work has not only provided hygiene solutions but also challenged cultural shame around menstruation, turning something once whispered into something that can finally be discussed openly. Unlike most startups, Matri didn't chase high margins, they chased maximum impact. Their sustainability comes from high volume partnerships, bulk B2B orders, and CSR collaborations with socially conscious brands. And as awareness grows, so does their reach, with every sale supporting education and menstrual awareness programs for girls in need. Today, Mark III continues to grow as one of India's most heart-driven social enterprises. From small workshops in West Bengal to awareness drives across states, their mission is spreading rapidly, powered by empathy, science, and social purpose. They have proven that true entrepreneurship isn't about competing, it's about contributing. Some entrepreneurs chase money, others chase meaning. The rare ones, like Ronnie and Rohan, creates both. Matri stands as a reminder that entrepreneurship can heal society one small, silent struggle at a time. Because when two men decided to take a stand for women's dignity, it's not just a business, it's a revolution. The next is Skippy Ice Pops. Ravi and Anuja Kabra are the founders of this company. If you grew up in the 90s or early 20s, you probably remember those colorful frozen ice pops, sweet, sticky, and pure joy on a hot afternoon. But over the years, that simple joy disappeared. Unhygienic street versions replaced the safe ones. And parents began worrying about contamination, artificial colors, and harmful preservatives. That's when Ravi and Anuja, a husband-wife duo, decided to bring that childhood nostalgia back, but in a cleaner, healthier, and more trustworthy way. Their dream was simple: to revive the Desi ice pop but with international standards of safety and quality. And that's how Skippy was born. India's first branded ice pop company focused on creating 100% natural, preservative free frozen treats that both kids and adults could love without guilt. The couple spent years in Australia when they noticed how organized and standardized the FMCG frozen treat industry was. Every product had a brand name, proper packaging, and clear labeling, unlike the unbranded frozen ice sticks back home in India. That gap sparked an idea. What if they could create a hygienic, ready to freeze ice pop brand for Indian consumers? Something that tasted like our childhood memories but was safe enough for our children to enjoy. So in 2020, during the pandemic, when everyone was craving comfort and nostalgia, they launched Skippy Ice Pops, and it quickly began melting hearts across the country. Skippy runs on a franchise and retail based model that's as smart as it is scalable. Skippy sells ready to freeze liquid pops in vibrant flavors: mango twist, cola, raspberry, orange, lemon, and bubblegum, made from natural colors and flavors. They use both online and offline channels from e-commerce platforms like Amazon to retail chains, schools, and ice cream parlors. Skippy encourages entrepreneurs to become local distributors and franchise owners, expanding brand reach while maintaining product quality. They also collaborate with event organizers, resorts, and kids brands for promotional tie-ins. Their model thrives on volume and nostalgia, small tickets, high frequency purchases that keeps customers coming back again and again. When Ravi and Anuja appeared on Shark Tank India Season 1, they didn't just pitch a product, they pitched a memory. The moment they handed out samples, the sharks were instantly transported to their childhood. That moment of peeling off colorful plastic slips and tasting pure summer joy. They offered 1 crore for 10% equity, seeing not just a product but a scalable brand that could dominate the frozen dessert category. That moment became one of the most iconic pitches ever on the show, emotional, simple, and full of joy. After the show, Skippy's sale skyrocketed almost overnight. Within just a few months, they were retailing across 10 plus states, partnering with over 500 distributors and entering big retail chains like Reliance Smart and Metro. Social media played a huge role in their branding. They keep making nostalgic reels, childhood throwbacks, and parents introducing Skippy to their kids created a wave of organic marketing. They even launched eco-friendly packaging and sugar-free variants, appealing to the health-conscious generation. Today, Skippy has become a pan-India phenomenon, symbolizing how emotional connection can drive business growth. They have expanded into international exports, including the Middle East, and are also exploring frozen drink and popsicle variants for global markets. From a small family dream to a multi-crore FMCG brand, Skippy's journey proves that innovation isn't always about technology. Sometimes it's about reviving emotions with ethics. The best lesson Skippy gives us is that simplicity sells when you combine it with safety, nostalgia, and scalability. Ravi and Anuja showed that the best business don't always solve complex problems. Sometimes they just reignite forgotten joys. Because the greatest brand don't just sell products, they sell memories. Tax Foods, the healthier snack revolution. Anish Basu Roy and Sagar Bhalotia are the founders of this brand. In a world where snacking often meant guilt, oil, and regret, two friends decided to ask a bold question: why can't chips be fun and healthy at the same time? That question became the spark that started a revolution. Anish Basu Roy, a former Coca-Cola executive with deep FMCG experience, and Sagar Bhalotia, a marketing expert and fitness enthusiast, joined forces to disrupt one of India's most addictive industries, junk food. Together they founded Tax Foods, a brand that took on the impossible task to make potato chips crunchy like fried ones but without the oil, guilt, or calories. Their secret, a cutting edge process called popping. Not frying, not baking, that used air pressure and heat to create light, crispy chips with 50% less fat and no cholesterol. The founder realized that young India was changing. Fitness apps were trending, gym memberships were rising, but the snacks on our shelves still the same oily, processed, preservative heavy products from decades ago. They saw a huge gap, the needs for modern, guilt-free snacks that actually tasted good. And so, Tax Foods were born, a brand that doesn't sell diet food but rather smart indulgence. Their tagline could easily be snack smart, not less. Tax started as a D2C brand selling directly to consumers through its website and major online platforms like Amazon, Blinkit, Swiggy, Instamart, Big Basket, and Zepto. But they didn't stop there. They quickly moved into retail presence across major cities, partnering with premium stores, cafes, and co-working spaces to place their products exactly where young professionals were. Their range includes popped potato chips, 50% less fat, kale chips, and quinoa puffs. Air popped chips with exotic global flavors from cream onion to Italian cheese burst. They build their brand with an energetic, youthful image, colorful packaging, bold taglines, and a sense of fun. Every product screams cool, clean, and crunchy. When Anish and Sagar entered the Shark Tank India stage, they didn't just walk in with a cheap bag, they walked in with a challenge. The sharks were intrigued by their confidence. They tasted the popped chips and the reaction was instant, light, tasty, and genuinely different from anything they had tried before. Ashni Grover was impressed, not just by the taste but by the founders' clarity and business acumen. The duo confidently explained their premium positioning, urban millennial target market, and scalable supply chain. After some negotiation, they backed a deal worth 70 lakhs for 2.75% equity from Ashni, valuing tax at over 25 crores. The Shark Tank appearance was a game changer. Within weeks, Tax saw a massive surge in online sales and brand recall. Their chips began popping up everywhere in gyms, airports, multiplexes, and co working cafes. They expanded their reach to over 10,000 retail outlets, launched new international style flavors, and built a strong online community of Texers, health conscious snack lovers who wanted to crunch without compromise. Soon they even began exporting to the Middle East and Australia, positioning Tax as a truly global Indian snack brand. By 2024, Tax Foods had crossed a 100 crore valuation, proving that even in a saturated market, innovation and identity can create a powerful brand. Today, Tax stands tall as one of India's most recognized homegrown FMCG disruptors. Proof that you don't have to fry your way to success. They are constantly innovating with plant based chips, reusable packaging, and even metaverse brand launches, showing how far an idea can go when fueled by purpose and passion. Disruption doesn't always come from big inventions. Sometimes it comes from a small packet of chips. Tax Foods teaches us that innovation is not just about creating something new, it's about reimagining something familiar and doing it better than anyone else. Because the entrepreneurship is not just about making money, it's about changing habits one bite at a time. So, what do all these founders have in common? They weren't superheroes, they weren't born into privilege. They were just ordinary people who refused to stay ordinary. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. They started with whatever they had. And that's the biggest secret of success, taking the first step. Some of them faced rejection, some of them heard 100 no's before they got their first yes. But they kept going because belief is more powerful than luck. Maybe your idea won't get a shark deal, maybe it won't even get likes on day one. But if you believe in it, build it, and keep nurturing it, one day the world will notice. Remember, every empire starts at a small idea scribbled in a notebook. Every great founder was once a dreamer who refused to give up. So, if you have been waiting for a sign to start your journey, this is it. Your time is now. Because who knows, the next big business in the world could be yours. If you like this video, hit that like button, share it with your aspiring entrepreneur friends, and subscribe for more inspiring startup stories. Because on this channel, we celebrate not just success but the courage to begin. Thanks for watching.